Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bryan here. I am live on Tuesday instead of a Monday. The original plan was to go live on Mondays, but my schedule got shifted around this month because of the holiday. So I am actually currently live right now on Tuesdays, and I'm going to try and do today. I'm going to try and do next Tuesday. Won't be able to do 2 Tuesdays from now, and then I'll probably have to take the 4th week off of July as well. I did set up my camera today. I did not set up any of my lights, so at least we should have a clearer picture than last time. Just let me know what you guys think of the picture. If it's out of focus, I don't have autofocus on this camera. So, hello, Photos. How you doing? Glad you could make it. Um, it's already been an interesting week, and I'm glad I'm doing this on Tuesday because yesterday was an interesting day. So I'm teaching match moving and integration, which is a new class this month, and it's a little interesting because I don't teach this class normally, so I'm having to relearn how to 2D track. So it's pretty interesting. Hey, Brian, how you doing? But I am teaching VFX 1 online this month as well too. So I'll be sharing some goodies and some extra lectures hopefully this month. I'm currently working on a nuclear bomb shot still. I think I was working on that last time too. And I think I was cranking my machine. So I'm going to try not to do that for you guys today so I don't crash. But I have a lot I wanted to talk about. I only want to keep this to about an hour. I just want to, keep the floor open as well too for you guys. If you have any questions, if you need help with your visual effects or with your arts, I can't answer all the questions, of course. If you ask me how to paint in Photoshop or Procreate, I will defer you to the experts that I know that can do that. But if you've got questions in compositing for Nuke or After Effects, or in visual effects for Houdini, or even some modeling questions in Maya, I can definitely answer those. So, a little bit about the setup though. Camera's over here. I actually have my computer over here, so I'll be able to see you guys, and you guys will see my profile a little bit today. I'm still working on the setup. I don't, ever since I moved to this apartment, I never really streamed. I used to stream all the time at my previous residence, and so my setup was like pretty dynamic. I had a really good setup back then, but I wanted to get back into it. So, anyways, a little bit about what I'm working on right now, so you guys can see it. Let's go ahead. I'll add this real quick so you guys can see it. Let's make this a little bit bigger. And so I'm not working on a donut. Let me show you guys. I am actually working on this bad boy right here. So I'll just back this up. Hopefully it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't crank my machine. Let's just see what this looks like. Maybe I don't do it from the Pyro Bake. Let's do it from here. And I'll just let this cache out while I am talking. Hopefully, like I said, this is a good test, actually. I don't know if this is going to crank it. And for those of you guys who were with me last week, you'll know I was using the Pyro solver to get this nuclear bomb to work. And I kind of got fed up waiting. It took almost 4 hours. 4 hours to do this one right here. Let me show you guys. I'm pulling it up right now. Pull this over here. It took almost 4 hours. Well, I mean, I have 90 frames of this. This is just one frame, but 4 hours to do 90 frames of this one. And that was just the core explosion. I was like, oh, this is going to be crazy. I can't do this. And I'm afraid to see my electric bill next month as well, too, because maxing out your power supply is never a fun thing. So anyways, but this is what I got this morning. This is what we're working on right now. And I'm caching this out behind the scenes right now. See what it looks like. It's going to do it on my GPU. So let's just hit play. Like I said, this is a good test. See if it's going to crank my live stream. No, look how fast that's going. Now, granted, look at how small scale. It's only, a few meters in size, but it looks so good. I mean, I'm so happy. Yeah, dude, Brian, this looks so clean. Look at this. I'm going to just pause real quick. My gosh. Look at that. Sexy. I mean, it's just so good. So I'm pretty happy with this outcome. Pretty happy with it. I'm currently working. This may actually be altered a little bit because I'm pumping some temperature into it right now. I'm currently working on tweaking the look here. And let's see here. Like I said, look, this is the source range right here. I'm currently tweaking the look right now to try and get a cleaner pyro look. setting a lot of reference. Most of this is actually dust kick up. Some of it is advection and convection as well too, from heat that's hitting the ground. My plan is, thankfully, I'll preface this by saying I'm a VFX artist, not a terrorist. Okay. My plan is to nuke Los Angeles. So I told my match moving class yesterday, if they're really good, they keep up with their homework, I will give them an extra demo at the end of the month in week 4 of their class of tracking a shot in Los Angeles. I think I actually have it over here. I do not have it up, but I'll pull it up here in a little bit. A shot in Los Angeles where we have a nuclear bomb go off. Now, it's going to be a lot more work than just, tracking and throwing the bomb in. We have to change the lighting. And then we'll also have to probably do some, maybe some kit bash or model work for the building so we can destroy them using some RBD, some dust effects. But it should still be pretty fun. It's good. It's going to be a fun shot. And hopefully the students that are in that class will find it beneficial, but maybe not. If they don't find it beneficial, I'll probably bring it on here and show it to you guys. So a little bit of some channel updates. So if you guys aren't familiar, I know a lot of you guys that are here right now are very well aware of this, but I am currently on Discord. So I've always used Discord ever since it was started. You can see how many channels I'm in. I actually deleted half the channels I was in. I used to game pretty heavily, and I still do play video games on the side. But I do use Discord pretty heavily, and so I figured it was just only a matter of time, and I decided why not now? Started a Discord server that's tied into the channel. If you guys want to drop by and check out this Discord server, I'm going to drop the link right now. In fact, I'll do it with you guys on stream. So let's go ahead and copy this link. Oops. Let's go ahead and invite people. I got to edit this one. Let's go to never. Generate new link, copy. I'm dropping this in the chat for you guys right now. Definitely check it out. It's open for you guys. You don't have to be an artist either. If you just want to learn more about the trade and what we do behind the scenes, that's what I'm trying to make an atmosphere where you guys can come and really, really have an opportunity to learn how to do visual effects, or I even have open opportunities for 2D artists, other technical artists, compositing. Obviously compositing and visual effects are my 2 favorite fields. It's what I do as a profession, but I definitely wanted you guys to have an opportunity to come and check out and just communicate. It's budding. It's small. We only got about 30 users right now, but I'm hoping to invite so many more of you guys here in the future to come in and just create a community where we build each other up. I want to see everybody realize their dreams and their goals. So, hey, Fotis, thanks for joining. There he is right there. So, and yes, I can see when you guys joined. That's why I want to make sure I welcome you guys. I usually will type down here. So, Bryan, you said, I've been trying to learn to scatter points in Nuke based on camera footage to create an environment. I hate it. That's actually the class I'm currently teaching. So I'm teaching match moving and integration on campus right now. I'm not entirely sure if we have a equivalent online. I have to look at the bar chart, but I have to actually see if we have an equivalent online. But if not, I'm trying to record my lectures this month and trying to make them public for the school on the school Discord so that you guys will have access to it just in case. I know, working with Ken Norman, the goal is really to get both online and in person on the same page. So we're all learning the same thing and everybody's making cool shots, and we're able to get into the industry. So I think I'm really excited for that. So I don't think we do. We are all the way into portfolio development now. Yeah, it also depends on your track, right? Because I don't know what track you took. It sounds like you took a visual effects track. Visual effects and look development are 2 different things, right? Now, they can kind of go across into each other. But most people who work as FXTDs in the industry, they're not the best compositors, and they depend on other compositors to make their stuff look really good. I mean, case in point, Erden Bredensko, I'm going to shout him out. I don't think he's here, but he is one of the guys who's running Theory Accelerated and owns Double Jump Academy. So if you don't know Double Jump Academy, let's go check them out. I'll pull it up for you guys. Definitely, I'm not sponsored by them, just so you guys know. But I think it's really worth exploring these guys because their stuff is just so fire. If you want to learn visual effects at an accelerated rate, check these guys out. They're really, really good. But if you take a look, the Hall of Fame here, they will pimp your stuff out. And I'm hoping to build this, by the way, to another platform like this one. Honestly, that's my goal. I want this to be a platform where you guys can showcase your work. So definitely check out these guys. And on that note, by the way, I definitely wanted to show you guys something here. I am recording this. I'm gonna go ahead and just take my screen off here momentarily, guys. So you guys can see this beauty right here. I was going through some of your guys's demo reels in my Discord server, and I came across this. Like seriously, guys, check this out. Let me mute this. Let me bring this out. I got his permission to show this, by the way. So how good is that? How good is that? This guy's his name is Max. He's actually on the Discord server. If you want to shout him out, I don't think he can make it to the live stream today. Oh, let me close that guy out. Ads, if you know what I mean. But definitely like he is on the Discord server. Check it out. That's student work. He says he's a student still. He's close to graduation. He wants to be a character effects artist, obviously. The only critique I have about that demo reel is not even his stuff. His stuff is like gorgeous. There's a few issues with some hair film, especially with the lion I saw. But I think the only issue I really have with that reel is the animation. I think the animation could be a little bit better, but it looks so good. So good. Is that rendered in Arnold? Yes. He did all the character effects in Houdini and rendered it in Arnold. I'm not entirely sure if he moved to Arnold in Maya. I doubt he did because Arnold can work with Houdini outright. But yeah, when I saw that yesterday, I was like, bro. I was like, I didn't realize it was student work either. I was like, dude, this stuff is so good. So, and you character effects artists out there, aspiring character effects artists, like, wow. What you guys do is so hard. I know because I do explosions and that's hard. I can only imagine trying to put hair and fur on a character. I've composited before. Like I've done comps where I've had to put hair on a character before in the industry. But yeah, what you guys do is crazy. So yeah, that's what I really, really want. I want this to be a place where you guys can really grow as artists. That's what the Discord server is doing. That's what this channel is for. It's what my X account is for. It's what I do at the school with my profession. I'm out of the industry. I just want to train artists. And of course, yeah, I want to make cool stuff too. So that's why I have my little fun stuff I do on the side. So, but yeah, hey, welcome to my channel. Take a look around. If this is your first time here, I encourage you guys to subscribe to this channel and communicate and engage and let me know what you guys think, what you guys want. I am currently working on a pyro workshop, hence all of the R&D that I am currently doing with nuclear explosions, with fire, with all of this. I am working on a pyro workshop. I know there's a lot of pyro workshops out there right now, a lot of like long, like 4-hour videos. I don't want to add to that noise. I think a lot of the stuff that's out there is amazing. But what I want to do is I want to take what I've done with the RBD series, which is still in progress, by the way. If you guys are curious, I doing a ground destruction shot that I will be. I think I'm gonna have to break it up into 3 parts. Originally, I was gonna do 2 parts, and I was editing it. And I'm trying to release it on Thursday for 4th of July, but I don't think I'm gonna make it. It is quite long. And I think I might have to break it into 3 parts. So we'll take a look at what that looks like. I may have to wait another week until next week until I can post parts 1, 2, and may have to record a 3. But we're gonna do a ground destruction for that. But just like we did where your first destruction shot, I kind of want to do a first pyro shot or a first explosion shot. And so we're probably gonna do that. And we're gonna build it ground up and we're gonna learn how to do pyro and destruction and then hopefully maybe build to a nuclear bomb like this. Now, granted, I'm using Axiom for this, and I don't necessarily want to teach you guys Axiom. I think Axiom is great. And Erden Burdensko, if he is here, if he does watch this, because I did shout him out, I love Axiom. I think Axiom is great. It's definitely got its place. I'm seeing it used more and more in the industry, which is so cool. But you still need to have the knowledge of how the pyro solver works, right? Because the pyro solver and the Axiom solver are the exact same thing. Just a few terminology and some difference in sourcing, but the pyro solver is the exact same thing. The concepts are the same, even though the names change. And the difference is Axiom is using your GPU versus the pyro solver is using your CPU with GPU support. But obviously Axiom is just so much faster. It's why I moved to Axiom and I lowered the scale of my explosion because I was sick and tired waiting, a minute a frame to see what I was doing. And you can see here, I make a few parameter adjustments and then boom, nuclear bomb, right? So this is kind of where we at. So recently, I also on my channel did a video. Let's go take a look at it real quick. We're not going to watch the video, but I did a video of Adobe. Didn't do too well. Didn't really post for eyeballs. I was more frustrated and I really had to just get it out there. Again, I just Adobe's really been frustrating me for many, many years, like many artists. And I know we teach it at the school I work at. I've taught it on my channel. If you just take a look around, almost half my content, if not more than half my content, is After Effects content. But you'll notice about 2 years ago, I stopped posting After Effects content. And a big reason for that is not necessarily because I went into Nuke, but a big reason for that is Adobe's focuses have changed. Adobe's focuses have changed. Hey, real quick, Brian asked, so would you recommend learning doing pyro from scratch versus modifying shelf tools? Scratch. I had this debate yesterday with another FX artist that we work with at the school. And I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's very intelligent. I think he's very smart, but I do disagree with him. He's like, well, we should be teaching them the shelf tools to get started because he's teaching Visual Effects 1 on campus right now. And he's like, hey, we should use the shelf tools to get students started. And I'll be honest with you, I hard disagree with that. Even at the beginning level. And there is a saying in the industry is beginners use shelf tools, intermediates know how to build DOP networks. And if you're advanced to expert, you know how to build your own solvers. Here's the thing. I firmly believe that you should be learning everything in Houdini, from RBD to Pyro to Flip to Vellum. You guys need to absolutely learn how to use the solvers and how to actually create your own nodes. Because when you hit the shelf tool, it's creating nodes for you. And if you don't know what those nodes are doing, you're not learning anything. And so if you just keep creating shelf tools, you're going to keep creating the same exact explosion, the same exact destruction, everything over and over again. So my advice is struggle a little bit for the first couple of weeks, a couple of months of learning Houdini. I won't lie, Houdini is a beast. Maya doesn't take that long to get up and running. It really does. It takes maybe a month or two, and you can really get up and running in Maya, depending on your discipline. Like if you're an animator, easy, month or two. If you're a modeler, about a month or two, you can start modeling. Obviously, your stuff's not gonna look that great, but not too bad. I think post-viz, like shading and lighting, takes a little bit longer because there's a lot of science involved with that. And there's science involved with modeling and animation as well. I'm just doing this as an example, but Houdini looks really easy and user friendly because it's got the shelf tools and it looks super sleek, and it's like all these parameters are kind of labeled, everything's got labels. But the truth is it's so dense. Like I mean, just take a look at this, right? Like I've barely started here on this explosion. I still have to refine a lot here. I got to create more attributes, but I mean, just look at that. So yeah, just short answer to you, Brian. I honestly would recommend learning from scratch and ground up. Honestly, I really would. Especially if your goal is to get into the industry as an FXTD or an FX artist, you really need to know your tool. It's like if you're a mechanic, right? And you got an impact wrench, and all you know is the impact wrench is only usable for lug nuts, right? You don't really know your tool. Like you just know that's what it does. But you should know your tool. You should know it's like, okay, it has this much torque. This is how much power it takes. how much air it actually takes in order to use the impact wrench. And that's true for everything. You should really get to know your tool. It's going to make you a better artist, and it's going to make you a more reliable artist as well too. And that's a hireable asset right there. So yeah, I'm very anti-shelf tool. Very anti-shelf tool, which is why when students take my VFX 1 class versus some of the other classes, I think that is the main difference. The feedback I get is generally good. Every now and then I'll get a student that says I made it too complicated for them, and I'm like, well, maybe this isn't for you. But I mean, that's not to say they're bad artists. I'm just saying like maybe there's some truth to that, and I try to kind of like bring it back a little bit sometimes. But I also know like if I'm at like just for a particle sim, or it's just like create the solver, add in your source, add in your pop object, and then sim, and you can't do that, like there's a problem. Like, because I mean, if you see some of the solver networks that I have, the dot networks that I use, especially when I make a custom solver, right? Like in the Pyro series, I want to show you guys how to make a custom solver. Rebel Way has a great free video, by the way, that shows you how to make a custom solver. It's actually where I learned how to start. Well, that's what inspired me to start learning how to make custom solvers. So, but anyways, yeah, and that goes the way that kind of changed it to kind of like my beef with Adobe. Um, Adobe has worked really, really hard to make things easier and easier for any artist to use, which there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, though, when you do that, you lose customization. And it's like my big beef with video games, right? Like World of Warcraft, one of my favorite games. I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but if anybody remembers vanilla through like Wrath of the Lich King, there was just so much customization, right? Like you had massive talent trees that you could use. You had, there were so many different stats that you can use. Like I think in Wrath of the Lich King, we had resilience. We had, all of these like attributes that you could add to your character. And then as time went on, they got rid of that, and it kind of gets boring, and you have less and less creativity. It was kind of funny. Like there was one raid that I went into, and if it wasn't for transmog, like it was terrible. But every like warlock looked the exact same. Like they had the same gear, same like everything. I'm just like, this, obviously there's optimization and min max, but it's like it's the same thing with visual effects. It's like uh, I don't want my nuke to look like your nuke. I don't want my wall destruction to look like your wall destruction. So, and that's been my issue with Adobe is there's still, I mean, obviously there's a lot of creativity with Adobe products, Photoshop and After Effects, but I've been having a lot of issues with just kind of the decisions the company has made and the focus that they have. And I made a video about it. It's on my channel. I'll link it right now. But yeah, I'm just frustrated right now. And then of course now it gets compounded with the AI issues right now, which by the way, I actually work to dispel on my X account. If you guys and on Discord, if you guys are on some of the Discords that I'm on, you guys know that I kind of jumped in. There was a conversation happening on one of the Discords where we had a student kind of bashing Adobe and kind of fear mongering a little bit and scaring other students. And if you're in this, if you watch this video and you're in here, I'm not saying that what you did was bad. Actually, I completely understand where you're coming from. I just want to make sure that we know that we need to go and do our research and don't depend on what you see on Twitch or YouTube. For instance, don't depend on what I'm telling you guys right now. What I say here, go do your own research. Go look it up, see what's actually happening. Do not take my word for it. No matter if I declare myself the expert or the aforementioned trusted authority here, you should go. I mean, this is your industry. Go and do your research. So, but anyways, I did this video, and there's truth to this. I'm not. This wasn't clickbait. This wasn't like, hey, I'm leaving this, doing this. I am starting to use DaVinci a little bit more. I mean, I've used DaVinci for a very long time, to be clear. I use DaVinci to color grade. I use DaVinci for all other things, but Adobe's giving me more and more reasons to leave their products. I like Premiere. I love Premiere over DaVinci because Premiere is just easier. I'll be honest with you. Like people are like, oh, DaVinci is easy to use, and yes, there's some truth to it. And yes, there are a lot of cool tools in DaVinci that Premiere does not possess. However, the clunkiness of DaVinci, the UI of DaVinci is just reverse. It doesn't make sense. The industry has worked so hard to move away from UIs like DaVinci's because it's just not user-friendly. It feels user-friendly, it looks user-friendly, but then when you try to like move really quickly because your boss is breathing down your neck and says, hey, I need this edit by, noon today, and you're like trying to hustle through DaVinci and it's just slow. The playback's not slow, but just the tools are slow. It's a problem. And that's why I've been using Premiere, and I'll use Avid before I go into DaVinci. But I now have a reason to start making the move to DaVinci because, with Premiere is part of the Adobe Creative Cloud. And um, Adobe is kind of fumbling the ball when it comes to AI because they've been so focused on AI. They have poured so millions and millions of dollars into AI research, into Firefly, into generative AI. And I know Dave is going to watch this and he's very pro AI. I have nothing against it. I'm just very, very concerned that the direction that we're going in. And I'm very vocal about it on my X account. I think AI has a place here. And by the way, when generative AI was starting to come out, anybody who knows me, anybody who was in my circles know I was pretty pro. I was like, hey, this is here already. We might as well use it. So I was pretty pro AI. But as time has gone on, I realized something. One of the reasons why we do art, and one of the reasons why we as the viewer watch art or look at art or watch a film, listen to music, it's because there's a sense of there's a human being that created that, right? There's a sense that someone like me, someone messed up like me, someone who has emotions like me, who gets sad, angry, and upset, who has feelings, who I could talk to, a tangible person on the other side of that screen or that speaker, made that product. And there's just this level of human connection there that I firmly believe AI cannot replicate. We may be able to get close, but I don't think AI can replicate. And I really, really do think that AI is very dangerous in the sense of creating a trap. You guys just saw the Toys R Us commercial, right? If you didn't see the Toys R Us commercial, maybe we should look it up. So let's look it up. Toys. Whoop, that's not what I want to do. Toys Us AI commercial. This thing went viral the other day. I think this is the full commercial. Let's just watch it. After this ad. Here, let's set this up. Let's just watch this together, and let's see what it looks like. I mean, I hope you see the irony in that last statement. The dream of a person, right? This isn't a person. It's not human. And you can look at this animation. There are things that humans do that the computer cannot replicate. There are little muscle twitches. There are smiles. There are emotional reactions that happen at a beat, right? Whereas AI can't pick up on that, and it's void of human connection, and it just looks bad. It's an off-putting commercial. Like, even if I were to send this to somebody and they don't know it's made by AI, there's just something like mentally, emotionally wrong with this that ruins that connection. And I teach professional branding on campus, and we talk about that emotional connection, and this is just void of that. It's completely void of that. Bryan, you said that oversimplification for the less educated user tends to make it more difficult to get more experience in actual doing your own thing. Absolutely. And I think, by the way, on that note, I do think Maya, Autodesk, and side effects are guilty of this too, by the way, because what ends up happening is you're required, if you want the customization, you're required to get into the bones of the software and to break things, or create attributes, right? Or do stuff. That's what Vex and things like that. So I do think there's that problem. I do think inherently there's that problem. And I really, really am anti-rail shooter when it comes to software. I want customization. I want to be able to do more. So, yeah, and so Adobe's trends, I'm very frustrated with them. And then, Adobe's on this AI train right now, and I'm very anti-AI, very vocal about it on Twitter. It's a soapbox that I'm on right now, and I don't know when I'm going to get off. 'Cause every day I log in and I see more and more people who are very pro AI. I think that's inherently problematic. Granted, in the artistic circles that I'm in, for the most part, most people are anti AI, but yeah, I'm very, very anti AI. So, anyways, enough about that, right? Like, you guys know this about me. I'm anti AI. I'm here to make good art. I want to make that lasting connection. AI is a fun thing. A fun thing. I think I can help spark creativity, but end result. Yeah. By the way, full disclosure. Full disclosure. I use AI. Okay. How do I do it? I'm in ChatGPT 4 and I'm having it help me understand Vex codes. Because sometimes I'll be like doing Vex. I'm like, it's not doing what I want it to do. What am I doing wrong? I'll plug it into ChatGPT. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I mentioned this yesterday. 9 out of 10 times, I can outright the Vex that AI is writing. Because like it'll do some weird things, and I'm like, you don't need this. Get rid of it, right? Like it'll create a parameter that's not needed or a variable that's not needed. And I'm like, that's not needed. But at least like it's like a sounding board. It's like a brainstorm. And I will tell you right now, being able to brainstorm ideas with the use of AI, so powerful. So powerful. Will make you a better artist. But coming in here and saying that, oh, I'm a great artist because I'm able to type in a paragraph and it makes an image of the exact paragraph that I did. Great. That's awesome. You're not a visual artist, you're a writer. There's a difference. Okay. Um, so yeah, I had ChatGPT write a song about the uselessness of a jump feature in Smite, and it was on point. No, yeah, I mean, I've actually had AI write me a lecture, and it was better than any of my lectures. So there is use for it. Yeah, I'm very anti-AI when it comes to art. And I don't want to come off as sounding double standard either. Like I don't want to come off as coming like two-faced or hypocritical. But there's something wrong with generative AI. It does not create that lasting human connection. It doesn't. Like I said, I think it's inherently problematic. And of course, thanks to Terminator 2, Terminator series, we know that AI could be inherently a really bad thing, and we could get this in real life. And I don't want that in real life. So nuclear bombs scare me. It's probably why I like to make them. Same thing with tornadoes. I love tornadoes. So, but anyways, yeah, enough about AI beating a dead horse. So, a couple other things that have happened that I think is really cool. So my good buddy Dave, he's been a little busy. He's been out. I know Wednesday he's going to stream. I don't know if I'm going to be able to join him on live stream, but I do know that he is working on some pretty cool stuff, and I know he won't get mad if I actually share this. So, actually, he might get mad if I share this part. Give me a second. Here we go. So you definitely want to check out his live stream. I'm going to link that in the chat here in 2 seconds, but I'm trying to pull up an image and it's not letting me. All right, I'll just do it from Discord. So there's another Discord that we're on. But he's going to be working on the live stream on this bad boy and working on a post-apocalypse scene. He's on a huge post-apocalypse kick, and so am I, because we both watched the Fallout series. I'm not done with it yet. I still have an episode to finish, but Fallout was pretty good. Long story short, got me into a little bit of trouble, but you know what? It looks great. Honestly, it really does look good. So, and so he's on like a huge post-apocalypse kick. So I'm probably gonna be joining him. I'm gonna try and join him Wednesday. I'm teaching though, so it really depends. Really depends on what happens, and that's tomorrow, by the way. So, let me link his live stream. I think he posted the link. Let's see. Only one way to find out. Let's see here. Create with me, Dave Grenier. And if you haven't seen Dave's channel, he goes into a different realm than I'm in. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to send you guys this channel here in the chat. I think he's worth a follow. Definitely check him out. He's a good friend of mine. We actually worked together. Wow. We worked together over 10 years ago. That's crazy, but his stuff is bomb. He's a 2D artist, graphic artist. He actually owns his own business. He is a photographer as well and a drone pilot. So we have a lot in connection, a lot in common. So that's why I really love working with Dave, and his stuff is so good, honestly. Like what he does in Photoshop, and to be clear, he uses AI. And this is why I said Dave's probably gonna get mad at me for saying some of the stuff that I said. I'm not trying to knock people who use AI. I'm knocking AI. There's a difference. I'll never knock a person for using a tool. But I may actually argue with you if you're defending said tool in the improper ways. So check out his channel though. It's really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. Here, I'll show it to you guys here. His stuff, like I said, his stuff is just so good. So good. All we have to do is have a ginger lie to a cop. Hey, my wife's a ginger, so be careful. She got pulled over when we were dating. And she got a ticket. She was speeding. But I was like, she's like, this is the first ticket I've ever gotten. And I'm like, well, don't speed. And it was funny too, is in the neighborhood she grew up. She's like, I've driven here my entire life. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, here's Dave's stuff. Check him out. Really, really good stuff. I'm really, really proud of him. His stuff is so good. He's got his own Discord server too, but I don't know if he wants me to share that right now. I'm on it, but and we hang out a little bit. Anyways, so enough about me. It's been 40 minutes of just me talking about myself and my thoughts and my musings. I love to see some of you guys' work out there, by the way. So if you're curious, jump into the Discord server, share some of your work. I have make sure you grab your roles. Let me show you guys that right now. So jump into the Discord server and make sure you guys go grab your roles. So you'll come up here, grab a role. You can pick these buttons so we know what software you use. This one's not as important as these ones though. So if you grab a role, and if you grab any one of these roles, you're going to have access to this channel. And you can see my one of my former students and my good buddy Bobby is I think he's in class right now, but he's got some stuff up here. I've been sharing some of my stuff. I don't want it to all be my stuff, by the way. I want you guys to post your stuff, and I love to give you guys feedback. We have question and answers here where Bobby needed help. New server, come in, hop in. My goal is to create an environment, cultivate an environment where you have the opportunity to grow as artists and really achieve your dreams. I firmly believe, and I say this in every single video in some form of the matter, and I say this over all my branding. If you go to my website, it says this. I firmly believe that everybody on this earth is inherently creative. I firmly believe that. Even people that tell you they aren't creative, or if you believe you're not creative, I believe you're creative. And my mission, my calling, is to help you guys discover that. I think everybody has some form of creativity. And if you're like, well, I work an office job and all I do is write spreadsheets, you are creative. Trust me, because I can't do spreadsheets. You can. I try to do spreadsheets. I try to be hip and cool. I can't do it. So I'll be posting once I start my project. My camera is crazy low quality, so doing like a lost tapes type of shot. Oh yeah, that's right. You got the Sony camera, right? Is that? I think it was you that asked me about it. That is so interesting. If you're curious, I'm using a camera right now. Now I can't show it to you because whatever, but I have my cinema camera set up. That's why the picture looks probably a lot better today than it has in the past. The only problem is my desk is against the wall and I don't have a mount, so I got to get a mount. Yeah, the old Handycam, Sony Handycam. Wow, interesting. I don't like Sony's, but I think Dave does. Dave uses Canon and Sony, but I'm starting to warm up to Sony. I'm thinking of after this camera, I might actually trade it in and get a Sony. So I'm warming up to Sony's. But yeah, Discord server, grab your roles, come and hang out. All of the all the stuff that I do, I will announce here, so you guys have like kind of the inside scoop. I actually post here before I post anywhere else. I'm also on Twitter. You can come and check it out on Twitter. I am very active here. As you can see, I'm posting here as well. I've got some replies. This guy was talking about AI, so I definitely reposted him. Very active here. Actually, I'm more active here than Instagram now. I have stopped using Instagram pretty much altogether. I might post something here randomly every now and then, but I've actually stopped posting on Instagram only because everything I was posting was getting marked by AI, only because I would composite it, and I was annoying, so I just stopped. My best friend is into vintage stuff. We are going to try using his old Hot 8 for some footage. Dude, I'm excited. I am so excited. I love found footage. I love old footage stuff, especially if you can do the visual effects and old footage stuff. Dude, so good. So good. I'll tell you one thing. The one thing I actually cannot stand is when people take modern footage that looks great, crisp, clean, and they try to make it look old. It doesn't look right when you try to make it digitally old. I like more of the authentic thing. I think the only caveat No, I'm not gonna go down that road. But yeah, it's just like the only thing that I really don't like. So, but anyways, yeah. So come over here, check it out. And by the way, if you guys haven't already, another thing too is make sure you check out my website. I have a website as well. I haven't been updating it as often. I'm actually writing a blog post right now. I haven't written one in almost a year, but I am writing a blog post right now. But this is my portfolio site. I need to really start updating some of this stuff. A lot of the stuff is ancient. My reel is 4 years old now. Old, so old. So maybe this nuclear bomb will be my next real shot. Yeah, digital aging doesn't work that well, especially when the ease of access to vintage cams. Well, okay, let's back up a step. It's not necessarily means easy access, because yes, the cameras have easy access, but the film is super expensive. Okay, like let's look at this. I don't even think. Oh, here, let's go. 35 millimeter film. Okay, look at this. Just for this is still images for 24 exposures, $16. That's a lot. That's a lot. Considering that I can take 20 photos in a few seconds with my phone, that's a lot. It could be depending on what you use. True. I will say true. You know, when I got married, my wife and I, we looked at using the little fun little Polaroids as our guest book. And then we looked at it. It was like $1 a Polaroid. And we're like, just kidding. Like we had the camera and everything. We're just like, just kidding. That's how we decided not to do it. So another thing too, by the way, I was going to mention when I was on Twitter, I like to actually share some of the work that I'm seeing out there. So like this morning I saw this. How cool is this? Let's go check a look at this. It's on LinkedIn. But this person was able to take the motion data of their phone, the orientation, because I don't know if you guys know this. Actually, I think that's a Samsung or a Google Pixel. I can't tell, but a lot of phones, have like orientation data in them. Okay. I know the iPhones do as well too. I think any of the modern iPhones do. But you're able to actually source that. I don't know if you can source the Apple stuff, but this guy was definitely able to source it. And look at that. They're actually controlling Flippy inside Houdini using their phone. How cool is that? Like, that's just so cool. It's perfect for virtual production. Like, guys, like we went from doing Mandalorian with like hundreds of thousands of dollars of tech to like, honestly, we're getting to the point where you can do virtual production in your living room. Like, this is ridiculous. I love the 8mm look, and those aren't too bad. 8mm, actually, I haven't looked at 8mm in a while. Obviously, I was looking at 35mm. That's pretty expensive. But let's look at 8mm. 8mm film stock. Here we go. Here's one for Super 8 by Kodak. I can't believe it's actually available here. $40. What's the footage? 50D. So you got 50 feet of film. That's not terrible. So you're paying about almost $1 a foot. It's like 90 cents a foot, right? Or 80 cents a foot. Still expensive. I think that is really expensive. So whereas like back in the day, it was like cents, like because everybody was making film stock. I know a lot of companies stopped making it too because it isn't environmentally sound. So a lot of companies are like, well, people aren't really using this anymore because it's digital and this is terrible for the environment. So I know a lot of people have stopped making film stock. So, but anyways. So yeah, that was really cool. I saw that this morning. And then this, by the way, Macro Block, if you are here, I don't know if you have started following me, but I follow you. And I know you have talked to me a few times here. Your stuff is so good. I have a huge admiration of 2D artists because that's where I got started, by the way. A lot of people don't know this. I got started as a 2D artist. In fact, I actually, it's hanging on the wall, but I'm not going to take it off the wall. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see. And we'll go to my profile. And see if we can find it. I'm sure I can. It's going to be, yep, here's one. I took a picture of it recently. And, like I started off as a 2D artist. This was in high school. So this is over 20 years ago. But I used to do a lot of 2D art. It's how I got started. In fact, that's one of the big reasons why I got in this industry, because I was kind of like, I was working at Disneyland at the time. I didn't really know what I want to do with my life. And someone was like, well, why don't you go back to school and make, art? Because you love movies and you love to draw. And I was like, yeah. And so as I was going through school, I was like, oh man, I love visual effects because I had a physics background. And so now I'm a compositor / visual effects artist. So, so Macro Block, your stuff, by the way, is just straight fire. Like if your comic book looks half as good as this, because I know you're working on a comic book, my dude, man, this is so good. Such good stuff. I love your stuff. So just shouting you out here. But anyways, yeah. So Twitter, website. I have an email newsletter that I try to email. I try not to spam you guys, but I do have an email newsletter that I put out there. So subscribe to that. You can do that easily by just going to my website. So if you come here and then you scroll down, you'll see that you can just join my mailing list right here. Encourage you guys to do that. I get about like 100 subscribers right now on my email list. So, yeah. And I try. You guys will get like really inside information there as well too. So. But the Discord is definitely where it is at. So, anyways, but it's been fun, guys. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's been fun, guys. It's been quite amazing. I've had a wonderful time making visual effects and art for you guys on my channel. I want to do morning streams on Monday, so as my schedule, in August should hopefully return back to normal, I'll be able to return to Monday morning live streams. But until now, I'm going to try to do Tuesdays and whenever I can. Like I said, I'm going to get back to work on this pyro workshop. I do have to teach. I do have to grade some papers today. I have to grade some projects. And then I do work another job. So I do work another job on the side. So I am quite busy. But if you want to get a hold of me on Discord, on Twitter, or just message me here on YouTube. I love talking to you guys. I love talking art. So thank you for hanging out. It has been a pleasure. I only want to really do this for an hour, to be honest with you. I don't want to go to like 3-4 hours long. Maybe in the future we'll do some I'm working on some explosion shots. Houdini, or maybe I'll do a composite in Nuke, and those will go a little bit longer. But yeah, thanks, Bryan. I really appreciate that, honestly. Again, I don't really do this for me. I do this for you guys, but the compliments are very welcome. They're very welcome. I really appreciate it. I love to work hard. It's what I do. I literally always have to be working. So that's why I want to do these live streams. So, but until next time, guys, always remember, always be creating.